So what I'm experiencing, I was paying my credit card bill today,
Nice.
and and also seeing my dwindling bank account, and
Well, the account is still there. It's just the money, right?
the dwindling dollars.
Nice.
Yeah.
How does that feel?
Well, it's interesting. That's why I wanted to share this with you. Is that usually if there's a lot of fear up, the fear is pretty strong and powerful. Where what it was just giving me this. It was like a deadening feeling, and because it was really observable. Like I was feeling it, but it wasn't me. Like in the meditation, like everything's fine, but it's just the mind that comes back and forth, and it activated it quite a bit, because there are less dollars than I'm used to having, and I'm just having small jobs here and there to get something in, and plus I wanted to go to Hawaii, so so it's really interesting. It really shifted with fear and thoughts and whatever. I don't know. I just wanted to share that. Anything you might want to say?
Sweet.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing is the thoughts are kind of barking back at any teachings that the universe will provide for me or whatever which I've been I feel living for greater than I've ever have. But the thoughts are going like, the universe isn't going to bail your fucking credit card out or this or that. So those kind of strong thoughts are getting stronger and stronger.
It can do a lot of things, but it cannot fill up my bank account. It upholds everything that is. It's so intelligent that it makes my cells vibrate at a certain rate where I can have this physical experience and where billions of molecules are dancing in my body and every other body. But it cannot fill up my bank account.
There's a lot of people laughing here.
It's a relatable subject. Anyone here who doesn't have a bank account? Oh, really? Okay. So you realize you've always been taken care of?
Yes. When I stop and realize it, it's really powerful.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
58.
58?
Yeah.
Well, looking good, brother.
Thank you.
What's the secret? What are the chances that in 58 years, now is the time that you're not going to be supported?
Wow. Yeah.
What are the odds? How often have you experienced a dwindling bank number?
I never really paid attention to it. I mean, I've had the fear. Yeah.
What are the odds? How many days is that? 58 years. Any math geniuses here?
I think I got it without doing the math.
Okay. So, you don't have to be afraid because you'll be supported. It always works. I have to pay around 5,000 taxes, 15th of April, I think it is, right? And we're moving to Colorado, which is around, everything included. Will be roughly around 5,000 too, like the move and the stuff and the payments. So that's about 10,000. And we got maybe 25 or something. But there is no fear whatsoever. And it's such a good feeling. It's like I look at these numbers and there's not even like, oh, what if? No, what if? They're just numbers.
They're just numbers.
And I'm going to be in Colorado in a few weeks. And it's just certain. Well, I may end up somewhere else. I don't know. It can always take you a different route. But there's no fear that it continues. And it will. This is not the first time that these kinds of numbers have come up. And for many of you as well. It's something always comes through. So why worry about it?
Yeah.
Why make it such a project? Unless, of course, you want to have that experience so that you can discover more of who you are, more of what your beliefs are, what your preferences are, what your desires are, what your resonance is. Because it offers a very valid template for you to experience yourself in a particular way.
Yeah, it sure does.
It allows certain kinds of fears, really existential fears, to come to the surface. So it's a very valid way of giving yourself an experience that then triggers all these things that otherwise you may not be able to see. And it gives the opportunity to have greater trust in abundance, in the abundance of the universe, of intelligence, of presence, of yourself, of your spirit. So one way to really feel into that is to look at your past and see if you can find any experience where in retrospect, really, you may have always liked them, but where you were not supported.
Yeah.
And you can't find any, unless you're holding on to some victim story of, yes, but I really didn't want that, and I was really abused in that situation. Then you may be able to say like, no, I wasn't supported there. But in retrospect, after you heal that part of yourself, you'll see that even that was of service to you. There's never been an experience in your life that was not of service to you. Now, you may not like every experience that comes your way, or that you're attracting through your belief systems, or that you're attracting to yourself in order to learn something about yourself. But in retrospect, you can always see how experiences have benefited you, have enriched your self-awareness. So can you find any experience where you were not being served, where you were not being supported?
No.
So what are the odds that the day is that day?
Right.
Can you find any day in anybody else's life where they were not supported? What are the odds that out of all the 58 years on this planet, yours, the day, is going to fail?
Yeah.
This is logic in a sense. It's just, it's mathematics. It's not even faith anymore.
It's interesting, you know, over the last year or so, a lot of this doesn't come up that much. And, but now as the numbers are going down, it's kind of pushing up whatever fears are there. Like you were saying, kind of more like the existential ones than ones that are in the day-to-day life. But I notice it doesn't really arise that much during the day. It's not a big part of my experience, but it happens like in the middle of the night. Like if I get up to pee or something, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, I come back, it's there. Or like today, paying the credit card bill, you know. So it's not as believable as it was before, but I can still feel it pulling, you know.
Sure.
That's why I wanted to
Sure,
share with you and hear what you have to say.
So how are you approaching it? What are you doing with it?
I'm not really doing anything with it. I feel like it's trying to hold me back. Like I feel that.
So there's something outside of yourself that has control over you? Is that what you're saying? It's pulling me back. Or are you going there?
Well, I don't feel like there's like I'm not aware of myself doing that. I feel like when I'm aware of it, it's happening. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so but then you're doing it, right?
Huh?
But then you're doing it, right?
What do you mean by doing it?
The moment you're aware of it?
Yeah.
You can see that you're going in that direction, even if it's light?
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that. And then a lot of times I'll just drop it, you know, and it seems to just not be there. And then there are some times when it's kind of feeling like this pull. You know?
The pull? Can you see it's a push? You're driving yourself there? How are you driving yourself there? Because there's nothing in control outside of consciousness. There's no force that has any gravitational pull whatsoever. We go somewhere, we go somewhere, we go somewhere, we go somewhere. So why are you going there? Not why is it having a pull on me, because that's not the case. Why are we going there? Can you discover why?
More because it's familiar.
Okay.
Familiar with old ways of believing in everything I've been.
And why would you choose the familiar? Even to call something familiar is to give it a credit that it doesn't have. Is to say, this is familiar, which means it's comfortable. But it doesn't necessarily mean that what's familiar has a gravitational pull of comfort. So what is the belief?
No, it's actually suffering. You know?
It is, yeah. You see it that way. Why are you going there? What's the belief? What's the interest? What do you believe?
I think the belief underneath that is that I'm not going to have any money and I won't have the comforts of life. You know?
Why does that interest you?
I know it doesn't sound like one would want to be too interested in that, but
we're wising up. That's great.
I don't know, like when I got off on Patton Ave and there was somebody out there asking for money, you know, they had a little sign. And I just, you know, here is my money's dwindling, but I just gave him some. And there was like a split second where I felt like
asking it back.
Huh? No, there was a split second, that I was just exchanging something that I didn't have. You know what I mean? Or kind of giving something that, was quite nice.
Excellent, yeah.
So the belief is that I'm going to be poor, I'm going to be older, and I won't have a job.
But not really, otherwise you wouldn't be giving money to somebody, right? Not really. You don't really completely believe that.
Right, yeah. There's definitely a hole poked in it for sure. In fact, I saw the fear and then I got this thought or feeling or intuition that in some ways I'm saying fuck it to it all and going to Hawaii anyways, which is, it's in other words going, what's that saying? All for broke or something like that? It actually means it literally as well as, so it's almost like it's almost in some way that I'm facing that and saying fuck you, you know?
Great.
You know, the universe is going to provide for me, you know? It has that feeling.
It's your no-nonsense policy.
Right.
It's like this field around you that just it doesn't allow any nonsense in. Again, it's like giving away anything you don't resonate with. But the giving away actually is an act of love. It's not a giving away as in a running away, where we give something power that it doesn't have, which is called rejection or exclusion. This is inclusion. We include the things that come up for us, but we very clearly know that we have the power to say no, that we are the only power in the universe. So something only has an effect on us if we give it an effect on us.
If we give it the power, we feed into it.
Exactly. So the no-nonsense policy is that we don't allow any definitions or beliefs or meanings to creep on in that we don't prefer. Doesn't mean we don't accept life as it is, or that we're not embracing things as they come along. We're looking at them, we're embracing them, integrating them, and then saying, not that one. I'll take this one. I'm going to Hawaii, no matter what. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Putting that smile on your face, genuinely.